Well, it's great to see everybody here today. Really excited to talk to you a little bit about what we've been doing with Palantir and AIP. We represent ParExcel. We're a clinical development organization, commonly referred to as a contract research organization. We actually work with the biopharmaceutical industry and bring medicines into the marketplace for application into patients that need them. And that starts at, typically in our world, at phase 1, where that's first in human, all the way through phase 4, which ends up being late phase safety case monitoring, late phase approval, post-marketing approval, et cetera. And at ParExcel, we're really focused on, one, our patients. It really is a serious focus for us, not just a tagline. And two, it's about our people and the technology. And what we've been striving to do over the last really year and a half after bringing Palantir in were a couple fundamental changes in our technology organization to really benefit the business. One, bringing our data into a centralized source from a data platform standpoint that really horizontalized the vertical solutions that were in place across many of the different business units. And two was thinking about the work that our staff do, whether you're a medical reviewer, for example, who might review 1,500 protocols a day, and they're doing it like this, yes, maybe on a screen, but they're comparing it to many different documents that are available in publications around the globe to really compare a protocol with potential outcomes and observations that have been made earlier. And that's a lot of work. The same thing's true with our clinical monitors. Their objective is to go to a site or to remotely monitor a site, ensure that the data that the site is getting and the patients that are there are producing the results that are expected. It takes a lot of manual labor. And in fact, what I like to communicate to those teams is we'd like to give you a Friday back, right? Which also addresses the people function, which is we want to retain staff. There is a real competition for staff. And then finally, on the technology side, we were looking for a partner and an approach to our data strategy, if you will excuse the term, that actually produce shit. So stop waiting and putting in 3- and 5-year project plans that one day someone will see the benefit from the work that we're doing and actually apply those forward deployed engineers, particularly from Palantir, and our own teams by saying, this is the way we're going to work and operate going forward, and then using Palantir in some pretty creative ways. And so that's kind of the business flyover. Our board is 100% committed. In fact, it's the number 2 most highly ranked area of focus for us at the ELT and the board. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dan to talk about a little bit on the technical side, what we're actually delivering.
Thank you, Jonathan. Excuse me, to start off, I did want to talk a little bit about our overall strategy, and then I'll get in a little bit about what specifically we're doing with Palantir. But our main goal as a contract resource organization is to become a data or an AI-infused digital organization. So Palantir is a huge part of that effort. When we first started talking to the team, and I see Lala's back here and a few others, we started talking about our partnership called P Squared. I want to make sure everybody understands that was ParExcel and Palantir. From Lala's perspective, it may be Palantir and ParExcel. Yeah. But anyway, the bottom line is that the team brings an energy to the work that we do that we cannot match. The team is fantastic, and that's really what drove us into a 3-year extension. We had started working about a year and a half ago, but a 3-year extension here in March. So I want to talk about one of the first tools that we brought to our workforce. We have about 24,000 people. We have about 3,600, I think, is the number of people that are either MDs or in some way or another they're medically qualified. For us to win business, we need to assimilate protocols, we need to pull data together, and we typically have about a week to actually bid back to one of our sponsors to actually win business and grow the business. So you can imagine we rely heavily on their expertise, but they also have to be able to assimilate data very quickly. Now they do it in their work lives all the time, but this tool has brought all of that to their fingertips. So we'll have a demo coming up here pretty soon, but in essence what we've been able to do is cut all of that lead time down and pull straight to analysis in essence. You're no longer doing search and retrieval. You're no longer, trying to find out the next white paper. You find out from somebody else that a new white paper came out that you aren't aware of. This tool does all of that for us. So here's a quick demo of the tool, and I'll try to give a little bit of a flyby as the demo is going on, but you can pick multiple indications. You pull into data that pulls forward. It's all AIP linked. What we can do is we can look at the patient profiles, all the other pieces that are out on the web, all of our internal information, but also external information. And then what we can do is go forward is our people actually interact through AIP with those data. So that's the key part of this. We're starting to work into a model where we are digitally oriented versus all paper-based and all kind of old processes. We like to talk a lot about the fact that we have humans in the loop. We're moving towards human in the loop. And that's where we really need to go for our organization. One thing I want to talk about really quickly is that this is just the start for us. There are so many areas. I mean, even listen to Jacobs, listen to everybody else that's talked earlier today. There are all great ideas that we can apply to our business. And that's one of the main things about being a partner, P2, with Palantir, is that we want to be able to leverage outside industry knowledge. We want to be able to pull all this knowledge together, because in the end, we're here for patients. We're all either going to be a patient or we've been a patient. So that's the key part of what we pull together. So what's next? And I'll go, I got a little bit of time. So we are building a center of excellence. We want to make sure.
Time was helpful, by the way.
Yeah, it was helpful. We got 2 extra minutes. We begged for 2 extra. Now I'm wasting that time. Anyway, building a center of excellence. So the main thing that we want to do is we want to leave the platform for all of our employees. The big key about what we're doing is we want our employees to, in essence, move up the value curve. So the things that they do every day, there's a portion of that work that is either boring, which is another thing that we got from Palantir. AI replaces boring. So that's a main thing that we want to look at. How do we pull people up to where they're really providing the core amount of value every day in every day that they come into work? It's good for them, it's good for us, good for everybody.
Gives them a Friday back.
Yeah, it gives them a Friday back. Last couple pieces, SDTM automation. The output of a clinical trial is a large data set. Typically, we do that over the span of the trial. So it's a 3-year trial. We'll put the data set together at the end of the trial. Now what we're doing with Palantir is we're starting to build first site, first visit. So we understand first-time quality. We understand, in essence, how we're going through the process, early indications, early insights to our customers. Last piece I'll hit with 5 seconds left is resource management. So what we're doing there is that we're taking industry knowledge from the airline industry, other industries that put people, pilots in planes, people at airports, maintenance workers. That's the thing that we're doing. We're pulling our people forward. We're putting them into studies. It's a big problem that we have. It should be our core competency. So this is going to become our core competency, all worth Palantir. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for letting us speak. Thank you.